everyone, welcome to Clarity for Sure and Agri Clarity YouTube channel, and I welcome you all to the lecture series of Concept Clarity. In this video, we are going to discuss one of the important topics from your animal husbandry syllabus, that is the stages of breeding cycle of a livestock. This topic becomes very important from your both NABARD grade A and IBPS AFO examination as well. So without any further delay, let's get started. But before moving into this this session, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and also join our Telegram channel. Both the links will be given in the description below to get more updates related to your agricultural related examination. Now going into the session, before going into the exact session, the answer for the previous week MCQs, the topic which we were discussed was types of carbs, and the answer for those MCQs are, for the question number 1, the answer is option B, katla, and for question number 2, the answer is option A, grass carp, and for question number 3, the answer is option B, both species possess an upward facing mouth adapted for filter feeding and plankton consumption. Okay, so now moving into today's session of breeding, the stages of breeding cycle of a livestock. Now let us try to quickly understand what a breeding cycle actually is. A breeding cycle is nothing but a repeated pattern of reproductive events. That is very important in animals, including the heat period. That heat period is actually known as the estrus period, in which the female is sexually receptive, and followed by mating or insemination, the pregnancy, which is known as gestation, birth, and the recovery. So this is a complete breeding cycle of a livestock. Okay, now why this breeding cycle becomes very important? Because this is very important. This helps the farmers to plan the breeding cycle of a livestock. For what purpose? To get the most the milk, meat, and also for offspring. Okay, this also actually ensures animals are bred at the right time for better fertility. And if at all, in any case, if the natural conception doesn't happen in a livestock, it also allows the farmers to take an informed decisions related to some kind of modern techniques like artificial insemination or heat synchronization. So for this reason only, understanding of this breeding cycle becomes important for a farmer, okay, or someone who is owning a livestock industry, the farming of animals. So these are all the important reasons why a farmer or some entrepreneur who is owning a farm should know about the importance of breeding cycle. Okay, now coming into the stages of breeding cycle, see, there are 5 stages, and each stage has their special features or importance. Okay, the first stage is known as the estrus cycle, where the female is in the heat period. What does it mean? It is sexually receptive and it is ready to mate. Okay, the duration of this estrus stage is typically ranges between 1 to 3 days, but it can go up to 7 days as well. What is the importance of this particular stage? This estrus cycle is the most fertile stage in a livestock. So whenever a question comes related to an estrus cycle, for example, which of the following stages in the breeding cycle is the most fertile stage? So your answer will be the estrus cycle. Okay, next stage comes your mating or the artificial insemination. Mating is a natural process, whereas the artificial insemination is an artificial process where the semen of the bull or the other male animal is injected into the female's uterus so that the fertilization occurs, and this is an immediate process. And importance of this particular stage is that this ensures the pregnancy of a cattle or goat, sheep, whatever it is. Next is the gestation period. Gestation period is nothing but the pregnancy period in a livestock, where the fetus will get developed into the uterus, and the duration of the gestation period ranges between 114 days and 340 days. It depends upon the species of the livestock. Okay, what is the importance? If a proper care, a proper nutrition is given to the gestated animal, it assures and healthy offspring. Okay. Next stage is an important stage where it is known as parturition. What is meant by parturition? It is nothing but the birth of offspring of that particular livestock. And this we know that this spans between in the range for few hours, and this needs careful monitoring because parturition is a period, I mean the act of giving birth has its own disadvantages also. So a proper monitoring becomes very important at this stage. Next is the postpartum period, that is after delivery, where the animal is recovering and the milk production to feed the younger ones. Okay, and the duration ranges between 30 and 90 days. And after this postpartum period, after this duration, the breeding cycle continues. It is actually the livestock is going to get prepared for the next breeding cycle. That is why I told you in the first slide itself, what is a breeding cycle? It is a continuous process. Okay, it is a continuous process, and it spreads across these 5 stages. Okay, I hope the important stages of breeding cycle in a livestock is clear to you now. Now coming to the next important topic, that is the estrus cycle. See, this estrus cycle is very important because this estrus cycle itself is divided into several phases. Here it is divided into 4 phases. So the first phase is this pro-estrus. What is meant by pro-estrus? Pro-estrus is nothing but here the cattle is characterized by the hormonal changes and a follicle development. Here the animal may show the early signs of behavioral changes, but it is not yet sexually receptive. So pro-estrus cycle is linked directly to the hormonal changes that is happening in a livestock. What is the estrus period? That is the actual heat period where the female cattle or female sheep, female goat, whatever it is, that is sexually receptive. In this phase only the mating is the mating occurs. It typically lasts from 1 to 7 days, as we already discussed in the previous slide. During this estrus cycle only, estrus phase only, the female exhibits some behavioral changes such as restlessness, increased vocalization and desire to mate. And the ovulation, that is the, what is the ovulation? It is mean the release of eggs occurs at the stage of this estrus cycle only. Next comes your met estrus. What is met estrus? This phase is after the estrus period where the female may no longer be receptive to males. What is the specialization of this particular met estrus cycle? The fertilization, that is the formation of embryo process, may begin here if mating has occurred. Okay, so what you have to note down from these 3 phases is that pro-estrus, it is characterized by the hormonal change. Estrus, the actual heat period where the female is sexually receptive. And metestrus, here also the female is not sexually receptive, but the fertilization occurs if the mating has been occurred. Okay, next comes your diestrus. What is this diestrus? This is the phase of cycle when the female is not in heat. What does it mean? I mean, it is not in the heat period. Here, if the female is pregnant, this phase will continue until the parturition. What is parturition? The act of giving birth. If not pregnant, the cycle prepares to restart. That means it goes to the first phase, that is the pro-estrus. I hope the estrus cycle and the phases in this estrus cycle is clear to you now. Now, coming to some of the important reproductive parameters of common livestock. So, whatever we have learnt in the before 2 slides, we will apply it here. So, we know what is estrus cycle. The length for the cow here is the 18 to 24 days. The entire length, that is from pro-estrus to the diestrus stage. And what is the heat duration? The estrus duration is 18 to 24 hours. What is the ovulation duration for cow? It is 12 to 18 hours after estrus, and gestation period is on an average 280 days or 9 months. Next comes your buffalo, same 18 to 24 days, 24 to 36 hours. It is quite high than the cow. Okay, what is the ovulation time? It is 12 to 24 hours after the estrus cycle. And what is the gestation period? It is 310 days or 10.5 months. For sheep, it is 16 to 17 days. Estrus heat duration is 24 to 36 hours and ovulation is 12 to 24 hours after estrus. And what is the gestation period? It is 147 to 150 days. For goat, it is 18 to 21 days. Estrus, the heat duration is 24 to 36 hours. Ovulation, 12 to 24 hours after the estrus cycle. And the gestation period is 150 days. For pig, that is so, it is 18 to 24 days, the estrus cycle length. The heat duration is 48 to 72 hours. The ovulation time is 36 to 42 hours after estrus, estrus cycle. Then gestation period is 114 days. For chicken, it is 16 to 24 days. This includes the laying cycle. See, this is not a typical estrus for chicken. For the poultry, we will discuss their reproduction when we are taking classes related to poultry. Just know the length alone. Okay, it is 12 to 48 hours the laying period, and ovulation is continuous during the laying season. This is one of the peculiar character of a poultry. Then what is the gestation period? It is 21 days, which is known as the incubation. Okay, please take a screenshot of this particular cycle, this particular screen. It will be very helpful at your time of your revision. Okay, now we have seen about the estrus cycle and the phases of this estrus cycle. Now let us discuss about the anestrus. What is meant by the term anestrus? It is the condition where a female animal fails to show estrus. That means it is not sexually receptive and does not cycle. This is very important, leading to what? Infertility and reduced breeding efficiency. What are the types of this anestrus? Physiological and pathological. What are those physiological? See, anestrus cycle is very common when a cow is pregnant, or before the puberty, or after or during postpartum, or it is a seasonal breeding. This is a very common sign in a healthy cattle as well. However, when we come to pathological, this is very important, because this pathological issues due to issues like poor nutrition, stress, disease, or hormonal imbalance, the female will not be sexually receptive. Even if it is sexually receptive, it will not be able to conceive naturally. This is very important. Why this anestrus cycle becomes very important is that only when a farmer knows about the anestrus cycle of a livestock which he or she is herding, he will be able to take an informed decision like the health of the livestock, and it follows by the breeding. Everything is related. So that is why this anestrus cycle becomes very important. Causes, as we already know, poor nutrition, stress or illness, postpartum recovery, ovarian disorders, or silent heat. What is silent heat? There will be no visible signs that the cattle is in the estrus period. Okay, but it will be in the estrus period, but there will be no signs to the mating partner. Okay, why it matters? Because this anestrus cycle, if unchecked, can lead to delay in breeding, increases the calving interval, and it also lowers the herd productivity. If the herd productivity is lowered, the the profit for the farmers is also reduced, right? So that is why this anestrus cycle becomes very important, and being aware of this anestrus cycle is also important. So whenever there is a question in your examination, like which of the following cycle describes a phase where the animal is no longer sexually receptive due to some physiological or pathological issues. So your answer will be this anestrus. I hope this anestrus is also clear to you now. Now, whatever we have learnt in the particular lecture, we will just have a recap. So what is a breeding cycle? Breeding cycle is a continuous process of reproduction where it consists of several stages that prepare the female cattle or the livestock for pregnancy and offspring. So what are the important cycles? What are the important phases related to the estrus cycle? Pro-estrus, where the hormonal changes begin and the ovaries prepare for follicles for ovulation. The female is not yet receptive for mating. Next comes your estrus cycle. The female is sexually receptive and ready to mate. Ovulation occurs and the egg can be fertilized. Next come your metestrus. Here the body prepare for pregnancy. Here also the female is not receptive for mating. The copious luteum forms to support the early pregnancy. Next comes your diestrus. What is this diestrus? The phase when the female is not at all in the heat period. If pregnant, progesterone supports the pregnancy. What is this anestrus? It is a period of reproductive inactivity often following pregnancy or seasonal breeders, and also some pathological reasons are also there for this anestrus cycle. I hope this lecture was clear to you now. Now applying whatever knowledge we have gained in this lecture. So we will try to answer these questions. Which of the following is not the stage of estrus cycle? Option A, proestrus. Option B, estrus. Option C, metaestrus. Option D, parturition. So let me know your answer in the comment section. Okay. And next question. What is the typical gestation period of a cow? Option A 150, option B 280 days, option 3 340 days, and option D 114 days. So let me know your answer in the comment section below. Okay. So I hope this lecture was useful to you, and if you are a candidate who is preparing for your upcoming IBPS AFO examination, so do consider enrolling for our IBPS AFO 24/7 test series by Clarity. What is special about this test series? We provide tests here in block wise. So each day is dedicated to a single block where quality questions will be asked from that particular thing, and every Sunday we are having the block 7, that is the full length mock test that actually mimics your IBPS AFO examination mains pattern. Okay, so the link for this test series will be given in the description box below. So if you are looking for a good quality test series, do check it out, our test series, which is very affordable. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope this session was useful to you. I will meet you with yet another session. So till then, happy learning. Good day.